Let me tell you about something I see all the time, and it usually doesn't show up until after the moving boxes are gone. I'll get a call from a client a few weeks after closing. They're not angry, they're not upset, they're just quiet. I love the house, I just don't know if we made the right choice. And that's buyer regret. And here in Northeast Arkansas, there's one version of it that I see more than any other. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about one of the biggest regrets that buyers make when they buy a home in Northeast Arkansas. And I'm gonna help you hopefully try to avoid that. So stick around to the end of the video to learn exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, if you need a realtor here in Northeast Arkansas, send me a message. All my info is down below. I worked with a buyer not too long ago. They were great people, smart, thoughtful, did everything right. They found a home that checked all the boxes. It was nice size, updated, good price. It literally felt like a win. On paper, it was perfect. What we didn't slow down enough to talk through was their daily life. Their commute, school mornings, where they spend their weekends, how often they cross town. At first, everything felt fine. New house energy carries you for a bit, but then reality sets in. That extra drive doesn't feel like 10 minutes anymore, and school traffic becomes part of every morning, and then quick trips into town stop being quick. And that's the regret that I see most often. Not overpaying, not buying a bad house, but buying the right house in the wrong place for their lifestyle. This happens a lot in Northeast Arkansas because everything looks so close on a map. You think, well, that's not that far, or it's just a straight shot, or we'll get used to it. Sometimes you do, and then other times you don't. And when you don't, it lingers. And I've seen the opposite happen before. Buyers who almost pass on a house because it didn't feel exciting, it wasn't flashy, it didn't have the wow factor, but the location made sense, and the drive made sense, and the routine made sense. A year later, they're glad they trusted that decision. Because look, when life gets busy, and it always does, the house supported them instead of fighting them. And that's the part that you cannot see during a showing. There's also a moment that most buyers don't talk about. It's standing in the driveway after closing, keys in hand, thinking, I hope we thought this one through. Let me tell you, that feeling doesn't come from the house. It comes from the decision. And the buyer who feels confident in that moment usually did one thing differently. They slowed the process down enough to think past move-in day. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking if you love the house and start asking if you love your life inside and around it. Where will you be driving most days? What will the mornings feel like? What will weekends look like to you? And how often will you cross town? And what does this feel like when you're tired, busy, or stressed? Homes don't just affect where you sleep. They affect how your days feel. And that's the part people rush past. Nothing was wrong with the house. It just didn't fit the life that they were actually living. Slow down for just a second and picture yourself in 6 months. You're not touring anymore. You're not excited anymore. You've already paid a couple bills. You're just living. How does your day feel? Your drive, your schedule, your stress level. If it feels calm, you made a good decision. If it feels heavy, that's where regret comes from. Buying a home isn't about finding something perfect. It's about choosing something that fits the life that you're actually going to live. And when that part is right, everything else feels a little easier. My goal in real estate is not to just sell as many houses as possible. My goal is to make sure that I'm selling you the right house. That way in 6 months, it's actually a blessing and not a curse. There's nothing better than talking to my past clients and them telling me they absolutely love the house, it flows perfectly with their lifestyle, and there's nothing that makes me feel more accomplished than hearing that from them. So look, here's the deal. Before you make the biggest decision of your life, slow down, take a breather, and future pace yourself in 6 months. Does this house align with my life? In the event you've found that house, or maybe you're struggling to find that house, feel free to send me a message. All my information is going to be down below. I'm actually a local realtor here in Northeast Arkansas, and I specialize in helping buy and sell real estate. So if you don't have a realtor already, feel free to use that information, send me a message, and I would love to connect with you. My name's Talon at Keller Williams Realty.